The seed that never gave up, inspired by Muniba Mazari's words. Life often tests us at the moments we least expect. Some people break under the weight of failure, while others rise stronger, turning pain into power. This is the story of Ali, a boy with big dreams, whose journey shows us that failure is never the end, it is the beginning. Ali grew up in a small town, full of hope and imagination. While other children played outside, he often sat with a pencil and notebook, sketching houses and tall buildings. He dreamed of becoming an architect who would design something beautiful for the world. His parents supported him, but their means were limited. Ali knew he had to work harder than anyone else to achieve his dream. Years of effort led Ali to apply for a top architecture university. He worked day and night preparing his portfolio, but when results were announced, his name was not on the list. It felt like his whole world collapsed. The rejection letter lay on his desk like a heavy stone. Ali stopped sketching. He avoided friends. He doubted his worth. He thought, maybe I'm just not good enough. The boy who once dreamed of tall buildings now sat in the ruins of his own hope. Weeks passed in silence. Ali compared himself to classmates who succeeded. Everywhere he looked, he saw celebration while he carried defeat. Hopelessness whispered, "Give up. You will never make it." One evening, while scrolling on his phone, Ali discovered a video of Muniba Mazari, Pakistan's Iron Lady, paralyzed after an accident, yet standing as one of the world's greatest motivational speakers. Her words struck him deeply. When you accept yourself, the world recognizes you. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning of a new journey. Ali replayed the video again and again. Tears filled his eyes, not of weakness, but of awakening. If Muniba could rise after losing so much, why couldn't he rise after one rejection? Ali picked up his dusty sketchbook. The first lines were shaky, but his spirit was stronger. He enrolled in free online courses. He visited construction sites, learning directly from workers and engineers. He volunteered with a local builder, gaining real experience. Every night, when Dal returned, he whispered Muniba's words. Failure is not the end. A year later, university admissions reopened. Ali applied again, this time with a stronger portfolio, clearer vision, and unshakable confidence. The acceptance letter finally arrived. But more than joy, Ali felt gratitude. He realized his growth came not from success, but from struggle. At university, Ali gave everything he had. Late nights in the library, early mornings on sites, endless sketching, learning, failing, and trying again. His designs began to shine. Professors noticed his creativity. Friends admired his persistence. In his final year, Ali presented a project that stunned the Jews, eco-friendly, practical, and visionary. That project won him an award and opened doors to opportunities. After graduation, Ali joined a top architecture firm. He rose from intern to respected architect. Step by step, he built not just structures, but a life filled with meaning. He bought his own home. He supported his parents with pride. And most importantly, he inspired others who once stood where he had been, lost and hopeless. When people asked him, "How did you stay strong after failure?" Ali simply smiled and said, "Because one voice reminded me that failure is not the end." Years later, Ali stood on a stage at a youth conference. Hundreds of students looked at him nervous, uncertain, afraid of rejection. He told them his story. He spoke of failure, of darkness, of hopelessness.
And then, of the spark that changed it, all Muniba Mazari's words.
When you accept yourself, the world recognizes you. The audience rose in applause. In that moment, Ali realized he was no longer just an architect of buildings. He had become an architect of hope. Conclusion: Ali's journey proves that failure is not a full stop, it is a comma in the sentence of life. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. Like a seed buried in darkness, we may feel lost and forgotten.
But that very darkness is the soil that makes us grow into something stronger. Success is not about never falling.
It is about always rising again. Asterisk, my friends, life will test you. It will push you down. Sometimes it will break you, but that does not mean your story is over. That is where your story truly begins. Take your pain and turn it into power. Take your scars and make them your strength. Because the world doesn't need perfect people. It needs real people who refuse to give up. And always remember, when you accept yourself, the world recognizes you. Asterisk.